Hello and welcome back to Rogers Reports, and you've seen it right. Yuri Tielemans could be out for the rest of the season as we go into three of the biggest games in our history, because FFP apparently, and I'm going to be making a video on this, is breathing right down our necks. So qualification for the Champions League seems so important for us now, and it's going to be difficult. We're going to be without our player of the season for me in Tielemans. Looks like he could be out for the rest of the season, but we are going to be previewing the Bournemouth game today, the implications that it can have on our season and how important it will be, going through how I would start with the injuries in mind. Bournemouth themselves, a brilliant team, the form, the Premier League table. Why is Tielemans injured now? Probably because he played 1,037 million games this season for Villa. But if you are enjoying the content, leave a like, subscribe down below for all the latest and greatest Aston Villa content on YouTube. Call me Rogers. Let's have a little preview. So on the screen now you can see the Premier League table. Now we're focused on positions 8 upwards. Bournemouth come into this game on pretty good form. 2 wins, 3 draws. Villa, probably even better form. 4 wins and only 1 loss from our last 5 games. So really that tips in Villa's favour. They are 7 points behind us. Now, for Bournemouth, this is their chance to get in to a European competition. Their only chance left, like Aston Villa, is through the Premier League. If they get a win over us, they're going to be 4 points behind us as we have to go and play Tottenham and Manchester United. So they have everything to play for. They are going to be right up for this game, and it's at the Vitality Stadium, which is always going to help them no matter how small the stadium is. We know Villa's woes away from home this season. They've been highlighted, quite a lot in the last few weeks especially. So we go up the table and why this one is such an important game. Like I say, Villa vying for that Champions League spot. Champions League is 5th this season, so 5th, not 4th, top 5. And above us we have Nottingham Forest winning by the 1 point at the moment with 3 games left in the Premier League, only 1 point ahead of us. Now they play Leicester next, so I think we all know how that's going to go. So you would imagine Nottingham Forest will be on 64 points after match week 36, barring some crazy thing happening. Now, why the Bournemouth game is doubly so important. The 2 teams that are on 63 points, Newcastle and Chelsea, play each other. That's right, they play each other. So no matter what, one of those teams, maybe even both, are dropping points. Now if they draw, that will put them on 64, Nottingham Forest on 64, and if Villa manage to win, we'll be on 63. 1 point behind 4th. 1 point behind 4th somehow, with 2 games of the season to go. Now, say one of them wins, that means that we'll be equal on points with 1 and 1 point behind Nottingham Forest, considering they win. I think they are going to, which again puts us 1 point off of 4th, one equal with 5th and 1 point off, or equal with 6th, 1 point off of 5th. Wow, can you tell maths isn't my strong point? But it means that we'll be 1 point behind those Champions League spots. So no matter what happens, if we win against Bournemouth, we will be at a minimum 1 point off of getting Champions League football next year with 2 games left. Now, bearing in mind as well that Chelsea have, and I know that the competition, yes, we didn't win it, but this season it just seems to be so much weaker than the season that we were in it. They have a big European final to think about. Are they even going to be thinking about it though? Because that would only get them Europa League. If they finish top 5, they get Champions League, but they've got that to balance. Villa don't. Our full focus is on the Premier League. Manchester City currently 4 points ahead of us. They travel to Southampton. They're going to get a win there. Let's be honest, look at their form. They're on absolute fire. And Southampton literally have 11 points. And then Arsenal, 7 points ahead of us at this point. I think they probably will beat Liverpool. You see how Liverpool turn up to Chelsea. Like, they couldn't really be arsed. They've already won the league, so I don't particularly blame them. If they do win, though, it would probably mean that Man City will go equal on points with Arsenal and they might finish 3rd, which is a bit of a disaster season for them. And then that would leave us, again, 4 points off of second place. Somehow second place would still be in our reach. I mean, that just seems absolutely mental to say, doesn't it? But yeah, that's why this game is so important. We win this game, and I'm pretty sure, unless my maths has completely deserted me, which, as you've seen about 30 seconds ago, is very possible for me, we will be 1 point off of Champions League football. And why is that so important, considering we have Tottenham and Manchester United? Well, you look at the Tottenham form there: a win, 3 losses and a draw. And then Manchester United, 2 draws, 3 losses. Both of those teams can't go down. Mathematically, they can't go down. Mathematically, they can't obviously get into the top 6, 7. They've both got a Europa League final to play just after the season ends. And that will get them Champions League football. They are not going to give a damn about the Premier League. They're going to be wanting to rest their best players so that they are on their A game for that final. And you look at the form of both of them, you can tell they've already started to do it. So I truly believe that we have a good chance of winning both of those games. Obviously, the Tottenham game being moved because the Premier League loves their little top 6, even though 2 of them are 15th and 16th in the Premier League, as you can see. But the Premier League's just always been a disgrace and bias to their big teams. I mean, to be fair, they make them the most money, so whatever. But we have such an opportunity here. We have to take it. But what about Bournemouth? What about the Bournemouth game? That's what we've all come here to talk about. Well, let's have a look at our recent meetings. As you can see on the screen, we haven't really played them that many times, considering they're quite a new team to the Premier League. We played them 9 times, 3 wins for Villa and 4 wins for Bournemouth. So they have actually got the better of us, and 2 draws in there as well. The last 4 games that we've played actually doesn't bode too unwell for Villa. We got a 3-0 win at Villa Park, a 2-2 draw at the Vitality, a 3-1 win at Villa Park, and then a 1-1 draw at Villa Park this season. If we go back a little bit further to the 6th of August 2022, you can see they beat us 2-0 at the Vitality. The form guide below, we have beaten Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Newcastle, lost to Man City, and then beat Fulham. Bournemouth coming off of a decent little run as well. A draw to Fulham, draw to West Ham, they beat Fulham as well. A draw to Palace, something that we could only dream of, keeping a clean sheet against them. A draw against Manchester United, and then that big 2-1 victory against Arsenal, where they looked really, really good. So both teams in good form. Both teams want European qualification through the Premier League. But Villa, in the last 5 games, have the better of it. Does that really count for anything? Probably not. We're away from home. We know we're a bad team away from home. We've only ever won against them once away from home. Can we make it 2? Well, here's the 11 players, considering the injuries that we have, that I would pick to do it. Presenting you a couple of ideas today. This is how I think we might line up. This is how I think I would blend what I would do with what Emery probably will do, right? Martinez in goal, obviously. We know that's not going to change. On the left, I'd have to go for Maatsen. We'll go through the Bournemouth team in a minute, but they've got a lot of pace on their wings, a lot of good direct players, and Luca Digne just looks a bit slow in the last few games. I'd like Maatsen in there because I feel like Bournemouth can be exploited down those wings with the overlapping fullbacks as well. Pau Torres and Konsa make up my centre-back partnership. Now, obviously, I think Mings has been called for a lot by the fans, but he is better for those games that are big and physical. Bournemouth aren't particularly the biggest and most physical team. They kill you because they're so good at football, keeping the ball on the floor, passing it around, quick attackers, interchangeable quick attack as well. I think Pau Torres probably deals with that slightly better than Mings, in the sense of he's so good on the ball, and there's not going to be that big physical battle, which is where he begins to really, really almost shut down and become non-existent. Konsa, because he's Konsa. I've already done the video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. The last video I've done on my channel, the chopping block for the defence. Konsa's my guy. He starts for me. On the right-hand side, I've gone for Garcia. You guys know I'm just not a big Matty Cash fan. I think we need pace and we need directness down the wings against Bournemouth, especially with Watkins up top, which is what I've done. So I think Garcia for me has to be the one. I know he hasn't played in a while, so it's going to be Cash right back, whatever. It's just I would love to see Garcia get another run in this team towards the end of the season. I think he's a really, really good, bright, intelligent young player, and he deserves a chance. He's really good at getting the ball in the box, something that we're not particularly good at as a team. In the middle, it's Kamara and Onana in that double pivot. It has to be right. With Tielemans out injured, I wouldn't drop McGinn. You can see I've got McGinn in that number 10 role. I wouldn't drop McGinn in to be the one next to Kamara. I think he's a bit of too much of a liability in there. Always wants to just back his arse into players and turn, and he loses the ball way too much when he plays in that deeper role for me. I've noticed it a lot this season. When he's playing in that deeper role, he just does the same thing over and over again. Traps the ball, puts his arse into a player, goes to the floor, wins a foul 75% of the time. The other 25% of the time, he doesn't get the foul and he's just on the floor with his arms up whilst the team that we're playing have a quick counter-attack on us and we're minus that holding midfielder. I think Onana just adds that little bit of physical presence. First of all, like I say, Bournemouth, I can't think of an overly massive physical player in their midfield. Onana, he should win that midfield battle 90% of the time in there. Good on the ball. I think he's played really well the last couple of appearances I've seen him make. And again, he adds that little bit of defensive presence, a threat from corners, and he almost takes the Mings role when it comes to defending corners of he will just get his head to that ball. Kamara, because he's Kamara, hasn't been fantastic over the last few games, but we all know how good he is. Players go through peaks and troughs, and I think he should be coming up a cropper very, very soon. Now, I've gone for Marlon on the right-hand side. That Garcia and Marlon right-hand side will give Bournemouth a lot to think about. Now, this could have been Bailey. He played really, really well when he came on against Manchester City, but I think Marlon, for me, has to be the one. Waiting for him just to get that opportunity to start and grasp it with both hands, and this could be that opportunity. Quick, direct, plays really well whenever I see him come on the pitch. I'd like to see him out there. I've gone for McGinn in the middle. Now, this could have, again, been Asensio in the middle of the pitch. However, Asensio doesn't particularly shine in games where Villa aren't just dominating possession and being able to tiki-taka it around and just do little flicks and tricks and just keep the ball for so long. We're going to the Vitality against a Bournemouth team that play football and they play it bloody well. And for that reason, I think McGinn adds that little bit of defensive cover and again, a little bit of physicality. I don't want him further back. I want him a little bit further up the pitch. I think he could do that role very well. And he's played with Watkins for, 5 years now? So they know each other like the back of their hands. Rodgers on the left. I don't want Rodgers on the right. Put him on the left, please. And then Watkins up front because Rashi is injured. The other thing that we could do, this is just an idea. This is like something that he wouldn't do, in terms of Emery wouldn't do. But maybe you go Rodgers and Watkins up front. We've done it before. It worked. You drop McGinn. And then you go Ramsey on the left-hand side for that physical presence, that bit of directness on the left. Him and Maatsen could work really, really well down that left-hand side. And you could do something like that. But I think it'll probably be the first one, let's be fair. Well, let's have a look at the team that beat Arsenal 2-1. Azebalaga in goal really had a bit of a career resurgence since leaving Chelsea. Now here is where, 1, Bournemouth are super dangerous, but 2, I think there could be a bit of a space to exploit, and that is Kekeres down the left-hand side of their defence. An absolutely brilliant player, does get forward a lot, so there will be that bit of room. That's why I want a Garcia, that's why I want a Marlon. He'll be occupying those spaces and being able to run at Hudson or Hushen, I don't know how you say his name, but he's brilliant, one of the best defenders in the Premier League this season. But he should be a bit isolated when Kekeres gets forward. Zabani, Arujo on the right-hand side. Lewis Cook and Tyler Adams. I think is it Tyler Adams that plays for them? I can't remember now. Let me open this up. Yeah, it is Tyler Adams in the middle of the pitch for them. And again, good players. Not the most big and physical players in the world, but you know, they're good, and there's a reason why they're 8th in the league. Atara, Kluivert and Tavernier make up their front three, a very, very good and dangerous three to have. And then they have Semenyo on the bench in that last game. He could easily start. Quick, direct, we need to get on them. Don't give them a lot of room. Close them down. That's why we need quick fullbacks, Garcia and Maatsen, because they will just get at the ball and they will run at you. And then Avallison up front, playing really well. I think he's got 10 goals this season, and it must be his first season in the Premier League this season, I believe. 6 foot-ish, I think, 6'1"ish. Not the most physical in the world, though. We need to be getting on him. I think Konsa and Powell should be able to deal with him, but that's why I went for the starting lineup that I did. And there you have it. That is my preview for Bournemouth. But what do I think is going to happen? And I'm going to have to be... There's a reason I'm looking down. I'm going to have to be 100% square and lemon with you geezers. I don't know how confident I feel. It's a big pressure game away from home. How do we usually do in big pressure games away from home? We'll play a really negative team. McGinn holding, Cash on the right hand side, probably Ramsey because he gets back, Watkins because he gets back. We'll sit behind the ball with 11 men behind the ball because we're away from home and it's a big game that we have to win to get that Champions League spot. And we might just mess it up by doing that stupid thing that we always do. And if we do that, we'll lose. If we play like we did against Fulham, we'll lose. If we play like we did against City, like we lost that game, we'll lose again. If we play like we did against Palace, we'll lose. We just seem to be in a bit of a low spot right now. And away from home, big pressure game. I'm not confident. That's all I'll say. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. I'll speak to you down there. And hopefully I'm here on Saturday evening, Sunday morning with an absolutely positive review. I'm just not